at the point guard
He's a
position.
black guy.
Guess who's going to be trying to transition into the shooting guard or small forward role?
Yeah, yeah.
That's just reality.
It is. It is.
Baseball, for example, dominated by the Hispanic race. Guess how many Hispanic coaches there are?
One. There was one.
0.
Oh, 0. Oh, they got
There was
rid of
one that
Ozzie.
got fired.
Yeah, Ozzie got fired. Huh?
Oh yeah, Ozzie got canned a couple years ago, but the
The
Atlanta Braves had one.
Yeah, they let him go
Terminated.
real quick. Yeah, yeah.
The NFL has something called a Rooney Rule, and I can't wait to do a show on this. And if you're not familiar with the Rooney Rule, it's mandatory for all NFL teams to at least interview one African American coach.
I don't even
For
think
a
it's
candidate.
African. Is it? I thought it was just like.
I think it's it's
ethnic.
not ethnic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
correct. You're right, ethnic.
Yeah, so they can. Ron Rivera will do.
There's not a lot of them in the league.
Yeah, but with that, I think it gives them. Like I said, I don't.
Now the
necessarily-
NFL, they're definitely set up a little better
Yeah.
than any other league.
Yeah,
I do think the NBA gives a little bit more opportunity
yeah.
for ethnic coaches, and that's because the perception is,
98% of them are black.
yeah, that it's equal opportunity,
Yeah,
but in reality is most of the players in the NBA are African American.
but they don't get a second chance. Though.
You need
got-
somebody to relate to. Yeah, absolutely. But if they get canned,
Yeah,
a
you're
la
done.
Mark Jackson,
You're done.
it's
Byron
over
Scott
for
didn't
you.
had 4 or 5 jobs he didn't need, so but then like
Yeah.
you say, look at Byron Scott. He done had a good 3 or 4 jobs.
It's just,
But,
it's they feel like they can relate.
yeah.
But that's just a couple of nuggets. But the next superstar we wanted to get into, because his name is in the news right now, is Derek Martell Rose.
Man, whole name.
Yeah, I got his
by
whole
now.
name. I know everything about this guy. We're about to get into it. Right now, the perception is, and it has to do with Derrick Rose, but it does not, is did the Bulls make the correct decision by trading Derrick Rose? A lot of you that's not familiar with the situation look at it and be like, how can this organization trade a former MVP like he's nothing? Just get rid of him.
Yeah. I mean,
How? How's that possible? What are
Time
they
to go.
thinking? Let's dwell into it, shall we? So of course, your perception is Rose was mistreated, and the Bulls made a dumb decision by trading him. What is your perception, Josh, about that trade before we dig deep into the situation?
I have 2, because the first one at first, it was like, what the hell are they doing?
Mm-hmm.
Robin Lopez for Derrick Rose? Like, what is that? That's the dumbest trade of all time. Phil just bamboozled y'all. But after sitting back and thinking about it, like you said, first of all, he wanted to go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
You guys, as the great organization the Bulls are, they accommodated him because he's
compensated
a
him.
former MVP. He brought y'all back from the dead, pretty much post Michael Jordan era to be relevant. I don't know how many road games that I saw in Chicago where I'm like, are you guys at home? Or
Yeah,
half the crowd,
man.
more than half he brought y'all back to where, like you said, y'all were like the Dallas Cowboys pretty much of the NBA.
Yeah, we were deep.
Y'all were deep. So you accommodate. And with that comes money. Because you got your road fans traveling. So everybody's eating. All the NBA is eating. So you accommodated the man to get him where he wanted to go. Like you said, from New York, it's a hell of a trade. For the Bulls, you get a serviceable center. You don't have a center. Powell ain't coming back. I know you think he might. I don't think he is.
I don't think he is.
Joe Kim definitely ain't coming back to come off the bench.
He's gone.
So you got a serviceable big man. Jaren Grant, he's serviceable. He can be a starting 2 guard or coming off the bench, whatever. He can play 2-3 positions. So, I mean, looking at it, you gave him what he wanted. It's not that bad of a trade. You probably could have got a little bit more for him. But then Derek probably wouldn't have. He would have been like, I'm not coming back here. And then that other team would have been like, I don't know if I want to pay $21 million. But at the end of the day, both sides is happy. And it was a decent trade, I think, for both teams. But like I said, my first perception was, this is terrible.
Absolutely. Now, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to try to get all of this information within the next 10 to 15 minutes. We may go over our timeline, but I want you guys, when I get finished reading you all this information, maybe you'll have a better understanding of what the Bulls were thinking from a business standpoint. And at the end of the day, this is a business.
Of course.
For example, now I know similar to LeBron, Rose was selected number 1 overall by his hometown of Chicago. Kudos, whatever. Rose has a very soft demeanor. So the perception of him is he's the nicest human being on earth. You know, and plus being from Chicago, he had the whole city behind him. Everybody was loving him. He had numerous fans, number 1 jersey in the league at one point. But there's probably some stuff about D Rose that you may not know about. The trouble with Rose actually started in high school. That was of course, that's way before the trade on Thursday. Back in 2008, Rose was ranked as one of the top recruits in the nation at that time. 2 of the top schools that was looking at Derrick Rose was close to his home, such as Indiana and Illinois. Rose, out of nowhere, chose to go to Memphis. Now, if you guys are not familiar with that, Memphis was good, but how did they land one of the top players in the nation over the University of Illinois and the University of Indiana?
Calipari.
Calipari good. I know he pays a lot of players' monies.
Yeah.
I know that's not confirmed. That's just my perception. But I'm just saying, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And I know one of Rose's AAU team was Eric Gordon.
Okay.
And of course, Gordon wound up going to Indiana.
Yeah.
They were supposed to both go to Illinois,
Oh.
but that broke away. Probably another nugget nobody knew. At the time, the perception was that he chose Memphis due to his mentor, Rod Strickland, who went there and persuaded him to go. But in reality, Rose didn't have enough. He didn't have a high enough SAT score to go to any one of those schools. In fact, in 2009, an NCAA investigation revealed that Rose cheated on his SAT by having someone take the SAT for him, and Memphis knew about the situation all along. So, of course, you know, they suspended him. A couple years later, well, the next year, of course, he get drafted by the Chicago Bulls. And I'm just giving you guys a timeline of what the Bulls are looking into and how they came to their decision to trade him as of Thursday. He hired his agent, B.J. Armstrong. At the time, B.J. Armstrong had a significant role with the Chicago Bulls. He was up for a general manager position. It was between him and John Paxson. The Chicago Bulls chose John Paxson. To that day, B.J. Armstrong has been super duper salty. And what did he do? He became an agent. Who's his top signing? Derrick Rose. Also enters Reggie Rose. Now you guys might be like, who the hell is that? That's Derrick Rose's brother.
Yeah.
What is he to Derrick Rose? He is his financial advisor and overall advisor in general. Well, I know you guys might be thinking now, like maybe he has some type of background. Nope. Let me tell you what Reggie Rose's background is. He was a leader of a gang.
Oh.
GDs. That's what he did for his career.
His career.
That was his career. He played ball. He sucked. He got hurt.
Yeah.
That runs in the family.
I see.
And he went back to game banging.
Okay.
Derrick Rose got drafted. That was his way out of the streets. Sort of. Because from what I've heard, and I've talked to some people, he's not technically out of the streets.
Yeah. Like he definitely
He's still in it.
He
But
definitely had protection. He wasn't going to be another Benji.
He's Rose's advisor at this time. So, that eventually caused problems. When that started was when Derrick Rose won his MVP. NBA changed the rules where you could give, if you're still within your rookie contract, you can give them a major signing bonus. Rose signed a 5-year, $94 million deal. That's when the problems started coming out of nowhere. Reggie Rose's head blew up, started causing friction in the locker room, demanding players to get traded, talking to the media saying they ain't good enough to play with his brother, they need help, dissing Tom Thibodeau, wanting him fired. So he's just running around the locker room and the organization like causing all these issues, man. Josh, and feel free to jump in at any time.
Yeah.
He was making Rose sit in games, not playing back to back.
Yeah.
And these are decisions by Reggie and his brother. Then all of a sudden, 2012, 2013 hit, the injuries occurred. He missed the entire year. Next season rolled around, 10 games into the season, he got hurt again. But this is where controversy number 2 come into play between the Bulls and Reggie and BJ. Rose was cleared to play in March. The Bulls, I believe, were a top 2 seed that year. Only thing they needed was their star point guard back. He didn't even have to be 100%. We had Nate Robinson out there going ham.
Yeah. Nate was...
We just needed to get Nate a breather. Reggie and BJ decided and took upon themselves to keep Derrick Rose out for the entire year. I was arguing with some fool that was like, well, he was just worrying about his injury. Derrick Rose was 100% in February. But they cleared him in March just to be 110%. He declined. We continue. 2015 come around. He get hurt again. Tore his meniscus. So that's 3 major injuries that an organization has to go through with that superstar who's making $99 million. Also within that year, he get accused of rape. Story came out that all charges was dropped because the girl was upset that she bought a quote-unquote sex belt. If you're not familiar, I had looked that up. I had no clue what the hell that was. It's a belt with 2 bars for the man to hold, which gives him a better leverage in a doggy style position.
Wow, Rose.
Yeah, good job, Rose. But Rose didn't pay the girl back, so she said that him and her homeboys raped her. That story was kind of retarded because he only had 1 leg at the time. She said he broke through the window.
Climbed up windows and stuff.
If Derrick Rose climbed up a window with 1 leg, we should have cut his ass there. To be quite honest.
Yeah, and then she got away, and then he came looking for her.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she was drugged, and then she left, and he found it was some bogus story.
Yeah, 1 leg there.
Yeah, that was bogus from the beginning.
Yeah, pretty much.
But timeline continues. Jimmy, during this whole time, as Derrick Rose is out, Jimmy Butler emerges into a superstar. All-star. Not a superstar.
All-star, yeah.
All-star. Derrick Rose grows this jealousy. And it's pretty obvious. I know he says in the media that Jimmy is his boy and he loves him to death. On the court, you can tell he did not like Jimmy.
Yeah.
And it started during the Cleveland Cavaliers series that year. Derrick Rose gave up on the Chicago Bulls that series. Literally quit.
Game winner and everything.
He hit that.
Yeah.
After LeBron hit that game winner, he shut it down.
Done.
Because there was a lot of talk about Jimmy having to step it up and nothing about Derrick Rose need to step it up. That last game, Derrick Rose literally sat back and let Jimmy do everything. Jimmy was the only one out there balling. Derrick was half-assing, and it was pretty freaking obvious. Season ended, next season rolled around. First thing out of Derrick Rose's mouth, I can't wait till the free agency.
For my son, he's got to cash out for
So
his son.
Yeah, and so much money going around. Derrick Rose at this particular point in time, and even to reflect back to the first 2 injuries, one of the things out of his mouth before, when they was asking him, how do you feel like, how's it going? You coming back from an injury? No, the question was, how do you feel going down with another injury? Instead of being, I'm so disappointed for my teammates, I feel bad for the city of Chicago, he said, I'm upset because me and Adidas had so many ideas, and I won't get to show them off.
Can't wear shoes.
Derrick Rose has became this it's all about the Rose brand. Had nothing to do with basketball past few years in Chicago.